So I've got a video here I want to do for quite a while, and it's going to be called "How Would Obama Have Handled COVID?" Because one thing I hear a lot of Republicans talk about is, well, it would have been bad with it. See, Republicans really, in this era, I don't really know what they want. You know, you had Republicans that used their positions on intelligence committees to move monies around. You never hear Republicans talk about that. That COVID wasn't real, but yet people in your own party use their positions to protect themselves. You're unethical, and your party is too. Trump said to go away. He hasn't. What's BA5 now? You know, God knows how long it's going to go on. So I want to just go over a few things here. For one thing, we see a lot less with Obama than we saw with Trump. Obama would not hog the microphone. He would have not made himself the center of attention. We not have seen long rambling or discourses on TV, people who were just standing there as props. The national discourse would be about the virus and Obama. Obama would have worn a mask when he went outside, leading by example. Obama would not have made the off-the-cuff suggestions to doctors, such as experimenting with UV lights inside people's lungs and injecting disinfectant. People made a lot of jokes about that, and I want to be clear about what that was. Trump, from every avenue, every juncture, what I remember, was simply trying to deny that COVID was something taken seriously, because he didn't want to spend any time or money on the issue, because he saw it as it killed people in California, it killed folks in liberal states, and the flyover states would be safe. That's how I see Trump. Trump did not care about half of the country. Half of the country could just go and jump in the lake. That's what made me. That's what makes me really. I will never forgive Trump for what he did, because I will always see it as it will be like if the fire department let half the neighborhood burn down. Like, say everybody lived in an apartment complex was from like Philly and was from like cities and shit away from here, like, you know. And so our department said, you know what? We're gonna protect the neighborhood, but we'll let that one complex burn down. That's, to me, what Trump did with COVID. This wasn't just about him being a numbskull, or him having bad people in positions, or him not using an independent response team, or him wasting time, or him being lazy. This is about basically figuring the math and saying these people are expendable. That in my mind, he was never really the president. He was just the GOP's guy. He was the guy that they could put in that, yeah, okay, I'm not against gay marriage, but I'm gonna put in judges that don't agree with it either. So now you got a Supreme Court that's rolling back Roe v. Wade. You got a Supreme Court that's talking about, hey, let's go back and re-examine these cases. He talked about that before he got elected. That's what Trump was. He was an entertainer that they used to harm a lot of people and to inspire a culture of cruelty. We will not see government experts fired for disagreeing with the president. That's right. Obama would not have bragged about how much he knows. We will not see promotion of unproven treatments. That's right. Obama could have answered the question on what metrics he would use in recommending we reopen the U.S. government economy. Trump pointed to his head and said the metrics are in here. We would not see unrealistically optimistic projections. We would probably have seen much greater and earlier emphasis on testing. The administration much closer to the CDC and its recommendations. He made mockery of the CDC several times. We've not seen repeated attempts to cut the CDC's budget, greater cooperation with states, less friction between the White House and governors, no pitching contest over who can decide when to reopen. Didn't he was talking about liberate these states and stuff? I remember. Uninterrupted funding for the WHO. No blaming George Bush. No blaming him. The U.S. would have attended international meetings on combating the virus. Obama would have had a more international perspective. Obama would not have encouraged people to protest against state public safety orders with liberate tweets. That's right. I forgot. Obama's name would have been on the coronavirus relief checks. Obama would not be taking hydrochloroquine or claiming to. Um, I do this because people say like he was joking, it's just him being goofy. But when you really lay out Trump's response and his ongoing uh, discussions he was having to the public, it was really reckless. And from the beginning, he was just doing as little as possible. And that's important to remember. If COVID gets worse, it's important to remember that people warned you, and you elected a president that did nothing. Obama would have took more frequent and more in-depth briefings. That's right. He usually spent the evening reading reports people created for him until late at night. That means he would have been aware of the seriousness of the threat in early January at the very latest. Obama would have gone all out. I said, I always feel like Obama as president, whether you agree with him or not, had to do more. It's kind of like what James Brown said when he got into music, talking about he had to work 10 times harder than the mixed people with the wavy hair and all of that. He knew he had to work harder than them. And that's how Obama was. Whether you agree with him politically, things he did or not, I really feel like he had to work harder than them in everything. That it was always, I have to earn my place in the White House. Whereas Trump didn't earn anything. Trump sat around watching TV most of the time. I mean, watching himself on Fox News. Obama would have gone all out and implemented the public health plan. Step one is to get a valid test, get distributed. It is 4 months into the emergency. So administration has not completed the first task. This is Quora. This is old stuff. First priority with regard to testing when people entering the U.S. Donald Trump created coronavirus task force in late January. He had a meeting with them in the first week of February. Took the rest of the month off from the issue. I'll read it again. He created the task force in late January. Had a meeting with them the first week of February, and took the rest of the month off from the issue. Let's see. Trump would not have had another meeting or briefing dedicated to the topic till March. Obama would not have wasted time. He would have stayed engaged in the process, regular updates and briefings. There's been a lot said about the pandemic playbook that Obama had. I want to lay over a few key takeaways I found here. Everybody thought it'd be influenza. Influenza pandemics, other emergency infectious disease threats may start internationally, do not respect borders. Bringing decision makers to the table early is paramount. Collective understanding, the science and disease must drive response decisions. Transportation and containment issues are a key concern. Decisions will need to be made about screening, monitoring, collaboration between federal and state public health officials. That didn't happen. Considerations about traveling and screening. Coordinated, unified national response and message paramount. That didn't happen. The pandemic scenario, days and even hours can matter. Medical countermeasure strategy is key for success. Talking about PPE and all that. Supplemental funding will be needed to fund response. So I'd say 90% of what I just read, Trump did the exact opposite. I mean, it's almost as though I felt like when Trump got in office, the whole goal was to destroy the vestige of Barack Obama, to destroy what Obama tried to do. And I still feel like that. They're it's kind of like Trump had a scorched earth mentality. That I'm going to just destroy every memory, every memory there was of the man. I want him removed from the body consciousness. And we saw what happened. COVID should be looked at as not, oh man, this is so messed up, Democrat hoax. COVID should be looked at as a dark cautionary tale of what happens when conservatives get in power and when conservatives, have this, what did let's do Harrelson say, the actor say, let's break all the rules, make money. That's it. That's what COVID was. COVID was a cautionary tale of what happens when you do that. When you destroy the regulations, when you tell all the scientists to shut up, when you go to war with the EPA, when you destroy everybody whose job it is to watch the hen house, this is what happens. I was an accelerationist before Trump. I was an accelerationist because I believe that people need to understand what free market capitalism to its extreme extent really is. And we saw this with COVID. That what happens, the government leaves you out to dry, they have nothing for you. You die, in essence. You are left out. But I realized with Trump that I was wrong. That accelerationism in these final days of the empire is dangerous. Because the stakes too high now. To have a president just say that because you got snow and stuff, how is it climate change? That a president in the 2020s doesn't understand the difference between climate and weather. I mean that actually bothers me. I'm serious. Like that actually bothers me, and that bothers me then that a person could be that stupid, and actually be in public office anywhere. That he thinks because there's snow somewhere and it's cold in a few states. Look at the weather we had a year or two ago in the Pacific Northwest. 110-degree weather for 3 days straight. That's never happened before. People dying out there. A lot of them areas didn't even have air conditioning. They didn't need it. The snowstorm down there in Texas, people died. This is normal? I just feel that accelerationism is, and then you have some people now who feel like that's the whole Jesus doomsday rapture revelation stuff, that America is supposed to collapse, and that the Antichrist will pop up out of war, and that we have to have a wrecked society. Society has to be like that. Exists too. You have people who don't want to fix the problems we have. They want to literally destroy America and literally destroy the world. They are completely opposed to the idea of organized human life. I don't know. I just want to make that point there. I just want to make the points of how badly Trump failed the American people, and I think failed the international community as a whole. Thanks for listening.